بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على شمس الهداية واليقين حبيبنا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: وإنك لعلى خلق عظيم. صدق Allah al-Azim. Beloved children, sisters and brothers in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declares in His final message to entire humanity, to all of mankind, He addresses His beloved Nabi Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and He says, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. O Muhammad, you possess the most sublime character, personality and individuality. You are, in other words, when you take the word Azim, He says you are the highest in character, most magnanimous, most glorious, most tremendous and most noblest, most magnificent, unsurpassed, most towering, most marvelous, impeccable, immeasurable and beyond expression. You, O Muhammad, are that. You are Azim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you go to the ruku, you say, Subhana Rabbiyal Azim. It's Allah's own attribute. And you can imagine just the characteristic of Muhammadur Rasulullah. The conduct and the demeanor of Rasulullah is described as Al-Azim. What I have described with you in so many words, which are only a few words which can translate the term Al-Azim. Now, you and I will believe in it. How we believe in it depends on our character. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say, oh Muhammad, you got the best robe or the best pants. Didn't say that. Or your face is adorned very well. No. He says your character, your conduct, what you do is magnificent. It's like my attribute, Al-Azim. So we are going to discuss this Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, your Nabi and my Nabi. Not as how you and I see him, but outsiders see him. His name is Muhammad. Don't ask, like some of them ask, this chap wrote so much, and what I'm going to repeat to you, I say in my own humble way. I am a little historian in my own right, knowing Arabic, Urdu, some Farsi, and a lot of English perhaps. I have never found any writer in any language describing Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and assessing him in these terms. If you have, anybody has, if your learned have, they must come and give it to me. I will use those lines. But I have never found lines greater than the man from France, whose name is Alfonso de Lamartine, a great historian, as the Encyclopedia Britannica and Wikipedia says, and accepted by them as an authority. After this man reading Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in 1857, after he read him, he said, if greatness of purpose and smallness of means and astonishing results are the three standards and criteria of human greatness, who could dare compare any man in history with Muhammad? After seeing this, if I take the three criteria, what was his purpose? The entire world must say La ilaha illallah. What a purpose. Look at it today, they make man gods and this god and that god. You got a new channel on the DSTV where this TB Joshua makes people, the demons come out, whereas about 80 South Africans went there and the demons fell on them. And you can pick out demons. So they take people as gods. And Muhammadur Rasulullah came to clean all this and said, La ilaha illallah. No in between, go between. That was his purpose. Smallness of means. Look at him. Orphan boy of 11, 10, looking after sheep and goats, getting some money for it, living off his grandfather, living off his uncle, carrying the baggage to Syria and helping all these things. Who's this boy? Smallness of means. And the people that he was with, killing their daughters, drinking and marrying their stepmothers and stealing from the women and oppressing them. Who are these people? Look at them. They got nothing. Small. An astonishing result. What is the result? Today, 1.6 billion people say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. That is, who's got a result? He, Muhammad, found upon a book of which each letter has become law, a spiritual nation embracing peoples of all languages and races, and made an indelible imprint upon Muslim nation for the hatred of all false gods and the passion for the one God, one and immaterial. You can't make God into a plastic idol or a golden idol. Immaterial. He's al-ghayb. You can't see him. The most famous man in history, and this you can take history today as well, though he wrote it in 1857, created arms, laws, empires. They founded, if anything at all, no more than material powers, which often crumbled away before their very eyes. This man, Muhammad, moved not only armies, legislation, empires, peoples and dynasties, but millions and millions of people in 1/3 of the then inhabited world. And more than that, he moved the altars, the gods, the religions, the ideas and beliefs and souls. His forbearance in victory, when he was victorious, instead of chopping people up, he said, I forgive you. And his ambition, which was entirely devoted to one idea and no manner striving for an empire. He didn't want to become king or master. When he died, he had a few pieces of coins and asked Aisha Siddiqa, what have we got? She said, Ya Rasulullah, we have got these coins with us. He says, go and give it away. I do not want to face my Allah having to answer for that money. I don't want. That was Muhammad Rasul. And see people, today they are owning billions, and this one died, he left so many trillion rands. This one died, he left so many million rands. And here is the man whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen, does not leave a cent behind. So he wanted only one thing, and that is that you must establish La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. So we find, never has a man, never at that time. And today if you can anybody stand up and say there is a man, never has a man accomplished in so short a time such an immense and long-lasting revolution in the world. Because within 2 centuries, 1/3 of the known world was under the rule of Islam and under the rule of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For the philosopher, orator, apostle, warrior, conqueror of ideas, restorer of rational dogmas, of a cult without images, founder of 20 terrestrial empires and 1 spiritual empire. That is Muhammad. As regards all the standards by which human greatness may be measured, we may well ask, is there any man greater than he? Is there any man greater than you, folks? Ask yourself, is there any man greater than you? Do your children know that there is no man greater than he? Let me tell you a sad story. In Indonesia, which has the largest Muslim population in the world, in one of the cities they had a poll and they asked, who are your heroes? And all our boys and girls, they wrote down who their heroes are. And your Nabi and my Nabi came out number 15. Go to your house and ask, really, out of their hearts, like Lamatin tells you why. Do they know? I tell you, he came out not 15 but 50. Na'udhu billah, na'udhu billah, na'udhu billah. That is what we think of Muhammad. You know, Kaka and Messi are making a mess of your house. That's the most important. Your son sits at the table. You know what Messi did? You know, he's a good footballer there. So what? Let him get messed up and you're not interested. Look about the world. You know, all religions have got false people. All religions nearly, even us, we have got racketeers. The greatest religion in the world lately was football. Really. Allah says it. إِنَّمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا لَهْوٌ وَلَعِبٌ. The life of this world is entertainment and sports. And we don't, nobody tells you that. It's in the Quran. وَإِنَّ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانِ. But the life after this life is the one that will live forever and ever. So what do you find? Football, football, football. What do you find? You find Muslims. Now everybody can fix matches. Because Rasulullah must have become match fixers. And tennis there's match fixing. All sports. So just like the priests are all corrupt everywhere in the world, so are the high priests of football and cricket and tennis and soon rugby are all corrupt. But Rasulullah is the one, if you got him as the greatest in your life, then he becomes your role model. And then, in 1974, the Time magazine asked, who are the leaders? Who are the leaders? So someone said Mao, not Miao, Mao, that's the guy from China. And someone said Lenin, someone said Stalin, someone said Hitler. Everybody said something, something, something. Alexander. And so what? They had all these articles. There was a man called Jules Masson. He's a shrink, we call him, unfortunately. He's a psychoanalyst. So he had no business, really, if you ask, like your shrink, if you've got one, he's got no business to study Muhammad. But this man was smart. He looked at the life of this Muhammad and he heard so much. He said, this man, He was a psycho, he was a split personality, he was mad. So let me study him. Let me study him. So the person who comes to me is on my bed, Abdullah Deedat is there. Oh, he's suffering from Muhammad syndrome, na'udhu billah. He's got Muhammad's disease. That's what he thought. But when I ask him who are the greatest leaders, he says, don't say, this is my leader, this is my leader. You have to qualify who are leaders. Leaders must fulfill 3 functions, must fulfill. Provide for the well-being of those whom they lead. Provide a social organization in which people feel relatively secure and provide them with one set of beliefs. People like Pascha and Salk are leaders in the first sense. People like Gandhi and Confucius on the one, and Alexander, Caesar and Hitler on the other are leaders in the second and perhaps the third sense. Jesus and Buddha belong to the third sense. Provide them with one set of beliefs. Perhaps the greatest leader of all time was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who combined all 3 functions. He's the only man in all history to combine all 3 functions. Was Muhammad, not me, I'm saying, this is a Jew saying, a Jew. And then another Jew, Michael H. Hart. He wrote the 100 most influential in history. And the Time magazine said, don't beat about the bush. You mean the greatest 100 in history. And you have put, who do we have here put number 1? He takes number 3. First is a Jew. He puts Musa alayhi salam, he is number 17. He comes up and he puts number 3, the God of 2 billion people. They made him a God, Jesus, we call him Isa alayhi salam. Number 3. Number 2, he looks and he finds a scientist, Sir Isaac Newton. Those who know about the falling apple and gravity and so on at school, he makes him number 2. And as soon as science comes, religion has got no chance. But he looks around. He looks around and he wants to find out who is number 1. And he places number 1, Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, number 1. And nobody after this day has written and said he's talking nonsense. Nobody, no Muslim, no. We got so many of our guys here during the struggle. Marxists, Leninists, Christ-kite, that, everything else we had. Our guys. But we had a lot in Johannesburg. You know, some of them even got, some Muslim names got our youth drinking and becoming alcoholics. And the names were big. And amongst the great revolutionary leaders of our time, as he puts it, one is Marx. He puts Muhammadur Rasulullah number 1, Marx number 11. He puts Muhammadur Rasulullah number 1, Lenin number 15. He puts Muhammadur Rasulullah number 1, and he puts Mao number 20. That's Mao Zedong. But then in 14 years' time, he looks around again, and when you read like the first edition, you see the way he has said that Lenin's influence will last for centuries. It is written there. But after 14 years, he gets a second print. 14 years. He puts Muhammadur Rasulullah number 1. Marx was number 11, 27. 27. Go. Why? Because his book is still around. Das Kapital. You can still get it at the libraries. It's 27. Lenin, who is the master of the revolution in Russia and the surrounds, where they subjugated the Muslims of Uzbekistan and all other towns. He was 15. No, failed. In 14 years, 84. Go away, 84. From 15 to 84. And Mao, he was 20 and he says, no, no, 89, out. Very soon you'll be chucked out of this 100. But Muhammadur Rasulullah, who came 1400 years ago, is still number 1 in the second edition of his book. And we find that why the West hates Muhammadur Rasulullah, why the French have made filthy cartoons about him, took off his clothes, made a canine, a dog out of him, all that, because they can't answer these things. So they must make all these type of things so that, and we get Muslims in South Africa telling Shapiro, power to your pen, keep making cartoons of Muhammad. Like Zuma's got with the shower every time we see. And what that guy said, the one who's telling Shapiro, he said, make him more handsome. They got an ugly person under a psychiatrist. First of all, to put him in a psychiatrist's couch, that is blasphemy. But Muslims agree, this type of munafiqs we have got amongst us, who stand even in Cape Town at one of the mosques in Claremont and give Jummah khutbahs, who want our Rasulullah to be depicted in an ordinary cartoon like those people from Charlie Hebdo. I mean, that's us. And we sit and watch. You know, Nabi is being shortchanged by our own people. Please, we must bring them together. There's so many ulama in Cape Town. And this is halal, this is haram, this is halal. This is no good. Orion meat is okay. Kangaroo meat is alright. Stab. Go and fight the evil within the ummah. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's ummah. So then, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has been insulted, the most insulted man in history. I'm going to have this translated into French and give it to all the French and all the people that speak French in the Islamic world. Talk to anyone who is your friend who speaks French. Ask him whether he has read Lamati. Think. Because our ulama don't even know. They don't know people who give Rasulullah, because you see, you don't have to ask why he does it, because Allah, He has chosen the name Muhammad and Ahmad for Muhammadur Rasulullah. That means always praised, always praised, always praised. How can you praise him when the Quran is a narrative of his praise? And as Iqbal would put it, you may deny the existence of God, but you cannot deny the glory of Muhammad. You can't. Don't believe in God, take Muhammad. So, but they have been doing him this favor in 1840, before 1857. A man by the name of Thomas Carlyle was asked to speak on a hero of the world. He says, I'm going to speak about the hero prophets. And then he said, our current thinking and judgment about Muhammad, that he was a scheming impostor, a falsehood incarnate, that his religion is a mere mass of quackery and faulty, and fatuity begins really to be untenable to anyone. He's talking to a whole crowd of intellectuals. He says, you know you're bluffing yourself, you are untenable, you can't prove a thing. The lies which well-meaning zeal has heaped around this man are disgraceful to ourselves only. Whatever you have written lies about him, you are the one, you are rotten, not him. It's you, it's a reflection of you, how filthy you are in your mind. And of course, the Bible says so. Those who know, we're not supposed to, but Romans 3:7, Paul says, if I am to lie, tell lies for the glory of God, to him Jesus Christ, then why am I called a sinner? That means I can lie. They've been given a license in the Bible, Romans 3:7. Have a look at it. Open license, especially the Christians, to talk lies about anyone that they don't like and who opposes the godhood of Isa alayhi salam. When Bokov inquired of Proteus, where is the proof of that story of the pigeon trained to pick peas from Muhammad's ears? It's written, you know, Muhammad had trained pigeons, put peas in his ears, and the peas took it out. And you know what he said? This is Jibreel. This is Jibreel. So Pocock went to Proteus. He says, yeah, very good story. Where did you get it? Where's the proof? He laughed. No proof. You know, I just felt like writing it. I know. So many things that have written later by the churches and everything. 1840 already, Thomas Carlyle asked, as the Quran asked, Qul hatu burhanakum. Say, bring your proof. And the guy says, there's no proof. So that is your Nabi, that is my Nabi. Now we have people and people who do not believe in God. And they say, Muhammad, you know, he just had dreams and so on. But here you are. You see that human beings are the best of all creation. I don't say, so the scientists who don't believe in God says we are the best, Homo sapiens, the white man, we've got wisdom and brains. Now the leader of all of them, the leader of all is Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You ask him, he has to be na'udhu God then, because he's the best of the best of the best, better than all the scientists, better than your Darwin, better than all your scientists. So he's supposed to be the best. Ask him, what is it about God? You say, Aslamtu li Rabbil Alameen. I surrender and I believe in the Lord of the worlds, Allahu Rabbul Alameen. So not only Muhammad is the greatest, but you've got no chance to say that God does not exist, because a living person for 1400 years has proven to you that as a believer in Allah, as an establisher of the unity of Allah, he believes in Lord, Master, Cherisher of the whole world, Rabbul Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم.
السلام عليكم.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، واشهد ان لا اله الا الله ولي الصالحين، واشهد ان سيدنا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وحبيبه، بلغ رساله وادى الامانه ونصح الامه وكشف الامه وجاهد في سبيل الله حق جهاده حتى اتاه اليقين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه افضل صلاه وعظم تسليم. اما بعد، يقول ربنا سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم: وما آتاكم الرسول فخذوه وما نهاكم عنه فانتهوا. الله سبحانه وتعالى أمرنا أن نتبع هدى الله سبحانه وتعالى، وأن نتبع سنة نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. ولكننا نرى في هذه الأيام أن الناس قد ضلوا الطريق إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى، فأصبح شغلهم الشاغل وهمهم بالليل والنهار أن يجمعوا الأموال مما حرم الله سبحانه وتعالى، لا يبالون ما أكلوا من حرام أم من حلال. وكأن الفقر هذا شر مستطير، كما ذكر أحد الشعراء حينما قال: ذريني للغنى أسعى، يقول لزوجته: ذريني للغنى أسعى، فإني رأيت الناس شرهم الفقير وأحقرهم وأهونهم عليه وإن كان لهم نسب وقير. فبعض الناس يظن أن الطريق إلى الجنة أو الطريق إلى الحياة هو أن تكون غنيا أو أن يكون لديك أموال، فصاروا يطلبون هذه الأموال حتى وإن كان مما حرم الله سبحانه وتعالى. يقول أحدهم وهو يمدح أيضا الغنى ويذم الفقر، يقول: يمشي الفقير وكل شيء ضده، والناس تغلق دونه أبوابها، وتراه منقوتا وليس مذنب، ويرى العداوة لا يرى أسبابها. حتى الكلاب إذا رأت رجل الغنى حنت إليه وحركت أزيالها، وإذا رأت يوما فقيرا ماشيا نبحت عليه وكشرت أنيابه. هذه هي اللغة السائدة بين الناس، يظنون أن الفقر عيب وأن الإنسان حقير بفقره، وما علموا أن الله سبحانه وتعالى هو الذي خلق الناس وجعل بينهم تفاوت في الأرزاق والمقدار. أنا أقول أذم هؤلاء الناس الذين يظنون أن الحياة كلها هي مال فقط، ويطلبون ما ذلك من حرام أو من حلال، ويصيرون يسمون بأسماء المسلمين ويطلبون المال من أيا كان، حتى على حساب دينهم، على حساب سعادتهم، حتى ولو على حساب حياتهم. فالمال اليوم يقتل صاحبه. كم من ناس قتلوا وماتوا بسبب أنهم يتاجرون فيما حرم الله سبحانه وتعالى من مخدرات أو من أشياء تسرق أو من شيء هذا وذاك. كيف بالله عليكم أن يعيش المسلم هذه الحياة البائسة؟ وما تلك الأحداث التي تمر بنا في هذه الأيام عنا ببعيد. فكم من يوم نسمع عن أناس ماتوا لأنهم يتاجرون، هذا قتل هذا وهذا قتل هذا وسرق هذا، هكذا. أنا ألخص هذا وأقول إن الله سبحانه وتعالى خلقنا فقط لعبادته، وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون. وفي كل يوم جمعة ساعة تستجاب فيها الدعوات، فادعوه سبحانه وتعالى عبده يستجيب له. الحمد لله رب العالمين، واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له، واشهد ان سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم